Hello, women of virtue. Welcome to my YouTube channel again. No more courses, women transformation coaching. I'm back with another video. Please subscribe, comment, share, like, and hit the notification bell. Right now, there's something I want to talk about. Again, remember what we said in this channel. We are here to learn. We are here to relearn. We are here to unlearn. We are women of virtue, we are women of integrity, we are women of worth, but we are still becoming, right? Now I want us to talk about the power of our thoughts, right? The power of our thoughts. You know, most people will say, you are what you think. The way you behave, it is exactly the way you think. The way you do things has to do with the way you think. The way you treat other people has to do with the way you think. So, we can control our thoughts, right, as women of virtue, but honestly, I know that it's easier said than done, right? Sometimes it's really difficult to control our thoughts, right? We allow our thoughts to control us. But today, there's something that we call conscious competence. Today, I want to say to us, let us be consciously competent, when it comes to our thoughts. If you happen to think negative thoughts, let's use the rule of the thumb. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Snap out of it. Negative thoughts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Snap out of it. I know it's easier said than done, but it's possible. It's doable, right? So in the Bible, if you check in the book of Matthew chapter 12, verse 34, the Bible says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. Some versions will say, out of the fullness of the heart, the mind speaketh, right? And if you check the Bible, if you talk about the heart, somewhere other versions will be talking about the mind, right? So we are saying, as women of virtue, we need to be cognizant of the fact that there are times when we'll find ourselves thinking negative thoughts. I think it's human. It's human for all of us. It happens. But it's important for us to be consciously competent of what we think about. And it's important for us to try and take control of what we think, or take control of our thoughts, because out of the abundance of what is in your heart, what is in your mind, that is how your mouth is going to speak, right? And the Bible gives us guidance, right, as to the things that we need to think about. So as women of virtue, can we just get guidance from the Bible as to what are the things that we need to think about? Again, I'm saying it's not that all the time we will have positive thoughts, creative thoughts. There are times when you really, more especially if you are going through, the dark phase of your life, if you're going through the valley, if you're going through trials and tribulations, if things are not going to according to your plan, then it's easy to fall into a trap of negative thoughts, right? But we are saying rule of thumb 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Snap out of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So every time we need to remind ourselves, what kind of thoughts must I have as a woman of virtue, right? In the book of Philippians chapter 4, verse 8, the Bible says, I'll read it in the King James Version. Finally, brethren, whatever things are true, whatever things are noble, whatever things are just, whatever things are pure, whatever things are lovely, whatever things are of good report, if there is any virtue, and if there is anything praiseworthy, meditate on such things, right? The New American Standard Version says, finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, and if anything worthy of praise, think about these things. Meditate on these things. Think about these things. That is the cue that we are getting from the Bible, that we need to train our minds, right? To think on whatever is true, right? What are the true things that I need to think about? Because, sometimes the enemy will bring lies. You have to think about lies, meditate on lies. But the Bible says, whatever things are true, right? Meditate on that. What are the noble things that I can think about? If you find your mind wandering, thinking about all the negative things, think of the noble things that you can think about, right? What are the just things? Because as women of virtue, we need to stand for just. What are the just things that I can meditate on? What are the lovely things that I can think of? What are the lovely things that I can meditate on? And remember, all the time, if you bring these lovely things, these noble things, these pure things, you are counteracting the negative thoughts. That is why I said we need to be consciously competent of what you think about. What are the things that are of good report, right? If I talk about these things, some ladies will just enjoy giving bad reports, even about other ladies or other women. Yeah, this is what I heard about her. This is what happened to her. This is what happened to her children. This is what happened to whatever. This, negative reports. But the Bible is saying whatever is of good report. Even if you know the negative reports, can you just shush and think of the good reports, right? The Bible says, if there be any virtue, right? Remember, we're calling ourselves women of virtue, women of integrity, women of worth. If there be any virtue in something, meditate on such things, right? If it's anything that is praiseworthy, right? Meditate on such things. And remember what we said earlier. This version says, if it is something of excellence, if it's something that is worthy of praise, right? And if we're talking about things that are worthy of praise, I also want to say this thing to us as women of virtue. We must learn to praise each other. Learn to praise. If you see another woman, see something good in that person and praise that person. Some of us as women are good at seeing ugly things in other women, bad things in other women. Can we teach ourselves? The Bible is saying, teach yourself, right? To think on these praiseworthy things. Because out of the abundance of what you are thinking, then the mouth is going to speak. Imagine if for the whole day you would meditate on these things. This will have to do with what you say as well. Because if you are thinking of praiseworthy things, the moment you open your mouth, you're talking of praiseworthy things. If you're thinking of noble things, the moment you open your mouth, you're talking of noble things. If you are thinking of pure things, the moment you open your mouth, you talk about pure things. If you're thinking of things of virtue, right? The moment you open your mouth, you talk. If you think about lovely things, the moment you open your mouth, you are going to talk about lovely things. So the Bible is giving us a cue. The Bible is giving us guidance. The Bible is directing us that as women of virtue, we need to learn to meditate on things that are true, that are noble, that are just, that are pure, that are lovely, that are of good report, that have virtue, and on things that are praiseworthy. How are people going to know that we meditate on such things? They will get it out of the abundance of what we say, because it's what we have filled our hearts with, right? And then the moment we start speaking out of the abundance of our hearts, then our mouths will be talking about these noble, pure, lovely, and praiseworthy things, right? So as I close, remember, women of virtue, we are becoming, we are teaching ourselves to become women of worth. And some of us will struggle in some of these things, right? Because we are used to, the way of a particular trend of thought. We are used to talking in a particular way, but we are saying we are here to unlearn some of those bad things, right? So as I close, as I conclude, in the book of Luke chapter 6, verse 45 says, let me start with the other version, and then I'll go to the Amplified version. This version says, the good man out of the good treasure of his heart brings forth what is good, right? Let me read it in the Amplified version, right? Luke chapter 6, verse 45. The intrinsically, if we talk about intrinsically, we're talking about, the inner person within, if we talk about within you, the intrinsically good person produces what is good, what is honorable and moral out of the good treasure that is stored in his heart, right? I want to repeat that one, the Amplified version, right? This is what we are becoming as women of virtue, women of integrity, women of worth. This is what we are becoming. Luke 6, verse 45, the intrinsically good person produces what is good and what is honorable and what is moral out of the good treasure that is stored in his heart. So it means in our hearts, it is vital that we store these treasures that are pure, the treasures that are thoughts that are pure, that are true, that are noble, that are just, that are lovely, that are of good report, that are praiseworthy, so that when we open our mouths, then it will show that our hearts are filled abundantly with these good things, right? Remember to be gentle to everybody. Thank you so much, ladies. May the Lord bless you exceedingly and abundantly. Goodbye. I love you.